Hey guys, it's Mrs. Jones. I'm going to put together a video of our lesson that we are going to be working on for today that is going to help you with a few of your assignments that you have on Wonders already assigned to you. So I know we did not get into week 4 of Unit 5, so what I'm going to do is go back to citizenship, and we're going to go back and go through the essential question and all of those different steps that we would normally do within the classroom, just to kind of give us our idea of how to do point of view and also look at a few biographies in the process. So first things first, we're going to take a look at our weekly concept, which is good citizens. And our essential question is, what are the ways people can be good citizens? So if we look at the picture in front of you on the screen, we see a boy who is placing flags on gravestones. I could probably assume that these gravestones of our military personnel who have passed away at war or possibly later on in their lives. So I would assume that this little boy is paying his respects by putting those flags onto the gravestones of those fallen soldiers. And that displays great citizenship because he is volunteering his time to give back to the community. So we will look at a few different biographies. This first biography that we are going to read is about a woman named Dolores Huerta, who was somebody who showed great citizenship, and she actually fought for farm workers about a few decades back. So her story is relatively more new in the story selections that we are going to be looking at in this week. So let's go forward. So when we look at good citizenship, we want to make sure that we understand the vocabulary that we'll be noticing in these stories. We will be looking at citizenship, continued, daring, horrified, participate, proposed, unfairness, and waiver. So as far as citizenship goes, it is defined as citizenship is a position of being a citizen of a country with all the rights, duties, and privileges that come with it. So just for example, the little boy placing the flags on the gravestones of those military personnel who had passed away. Next is continued, which means when something is continued, it goes on without stopping, which is pretty self-explanatory. So it just keeps going without stopping. So Justin continued to read all of his books, or read his books all afternoon. So if we were to look at the opposite of continued, what will we say that would be? Maybe stopped, doesn't move forward, doesn't continue, something of that nature. So just remember that it has an ending and it doesn't go on without stopping. Next word is going to be daring. Cute little video that we have here, little penguins.
Something that is daring is courageous and bold.
So courageous and bold. So just the brave penguins made a daring dive into the sea, which is really what they're displaying here in this image. The next image is horrified. When someone is horrified, he or she is filled with great fear, horror, or dislike. So as you can see in the photo, these people are displaying great fear, or they're horrified when they watch the scary movie. Next is participate. Participate means to join with others and take part into something. As we can see in our example here, we can see these children are participating in a sack relay. Next word is proposed. To have proposed something means to have suggested someone or something to others for their consideration. So in this example, the mom is looking online to find the answer to Tina's question. So she proposes this to her to get her to find the answer to the question. Next is unfairness. A lot of unfairness we've noticed I'm sure in your childhood. Unfairness is the state of being unfair and unjust. So when you notice things are not being displayed in the correct manner, that both sides are not being equally treated, we notice a sign of unfairness. So if we were to look at the word unfairness, what would the opposite of that word be? Maybe fair, maybe balanced, something that gives an equal amount to each side. So in this picture example, we notice the coach is showing a dislike to the official's call. Therefore, it is unfair. There is a sign of unfairness being given to the game. And the last one is waver. Waver is to stop a moment when being unsure. So in this situation right here, his confidence starts to waver when he forgets the answer. So in this example, it looks like this boy is in a spelling bee, hence the little bees that I can see back here. So I'm assuming that's a spelling bee. So he looks a little bit uncertain about what is happening. His body language speaks a lot. His face is not excited or showing confidence. It's very, he's showing a sign of wavering in this image. So you're going to see these vocabulary words throughout the story. So let's go ahead and take a look at Dolores Huerta, Growing Up Strong. We are going to see the essential question, which is, what do good citizens do? We're going to read how Dolores Huerta's actions helped many people. Okay, I'll go ahead and read it. Dolores Huerta learned to help people by watching her mother. Good citizenship was important to her, and she taught Dolores that women can be strong leaders. When Dolores grew up, she had the same beliefs. Good citizens. Oh, and by the way, boys and girls, we did not take a look at the genre, but the genre is a biography, and I wanted to bring that up because a biography is a story that is told by somebody else about another person. So in this case, this story, it doesn't say the author's name, but this story is being told by somebody else about Dolores. So just keep that in mind. We are also going to see pictures in the story. We are also going to see headings. And if we scroll down here, we will also see captions in this story as well. We may see some other text features in the story, and we'll go ahead and go through them as we go through this video. All right, good citizens. Dolores was born on April 10th, 1930. She lived in a small town in New Mexico until she was 3 years old. Then she moved to California with her mother and 2 brothers. Dolores grew up watching her mother participate in community organizations. Her mother believed that all people deserved to be treated fairly. When Dolores was a young girl, her mother owned a hotel and a restaurant. Many farm workers who lived in their town were poor and hungry. They were paid very little for their hard work. Dolores' mother let them stay at her hotel and eat at her restaurant for free. This taught Dolores and her brothers that good citizens get involved in the community by helping their neighbors. Here's the caption at the bottom to describe the photo. Dolores Huerta helped farm workers who spent many hours working in fields. So I'm just going to take a look at this picture. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. We are seeing a cart of some sort, or something holding these newspapers, and then we can see table grapes of California. Just kind of a foreshadowing what we're going to notice in this story as well. So I could probably speculate that maybe there's something going on. She has like a button on here, so she's really, it looks like she's passionate about something. Don't buy grapes, table grapes of California. So I'm going to make the inference that maybe this is about grapes for some reason, okay? So just looking at those images to kind of help us what a story might be about. All right? Dolores goes to school. Dolores saw how hard life was for farm workers in California. She wanted everyone to be treated fairly. This attitude continued as she attended college and studied to become a teacher. Many of the students that Dolores taught were the children of farm workers. These students were often tired and hungry. They came to school barefoot because they had no shoes. Dolores knew she needed to help them. As a result, she went to her school's principal and proposed some good ideas. She tried to get free lunches and milk for the children. She tried to get them new clothes and shoes. Trying to help the children was a daring thing for Dolores to do. The other teachers did not agree with her ideas. Dolores risked a lot, but her beliefs did not waver. She decided to do something about the unfairness she saw. She wanted to find a better way to help farm workers and their families. Dolores stands strong. Every day, Dolores saw people working in unusually safe and disagreeable conditions. She was horrified. Many farm workers had little money to feed their families. Dolores decided to do something. In 1955, and boys and girls, 1955 wasn't very long ago. We're looking at about 70 years ago-ish. In 1955, Dolores met Cesar Chavez. He wanted to make life better for farm workers too. Dolores and Cesar organized the workers into a group called National Farm Workers Association. This group protected the rights of the farm workers. It helped make big farms treat them better. As a result, working conditions on the farms improved. Growing up with a mother who cared about other people taught Dolores to be a good citizen. Her kind and brave acts helped farm workers and their families. Who is a good citizen? Dolores Huerta is. Okay, so if we're taking a look at this page, you're going to notice at the bottom, a part of the text features is a timeline. So in this image, you're going to see Dolores' strong and fair timeline. It shows important dates of her life. So if we take a look at 1930, we find out that Dolores was born in 1930. In 1933, she moved to California. A bit of time passes. About 20 years later, she worked as a teacher in 1953 to 1955. In 1955, she met Cesar Chavez. I think that's the better pronunciation of his name. In 1962, Dolores and Cesar started National Farm Workers Association. We move up to 1975. She helped pass laws to protect farm workers. We'll scroll on over to 1998, where she earned the Human Rights Award from President Bill Clinton. So, this is a relatively newer part of our history. It's been within the last 70 years, like I had mentioned. So we're seeing a little more current event here in this story. So when you go into your assignments for this particular story, you're going to be asked the question, how did Dolores Huerta's actions make her a good citizen? You're going to use the text evidence from the story to help you understand why she is a good citizen. You're going to look and find those little clues, the things that are most important. When you do that, I'm going to show you here. Let me get out of here. Actually, let's do this. And I've shown you guys how to log into Wonders at home. If you don't remember, go back into the Remind app that I had sent, and I showed you how to get into that using the link, Fresno Unified's website. Go to the Work Out Your Brain, or the little brain picture on Fresno Unified's website, and that'll take you to all of the applications to get you into Wonders. Okay. So for you guys, you're going to go into the Student Edition. When you log into Wonders, you are going to find your assignments. You're going to log into To Do, and then you're going to go into My Work. So my work here is a little bit different than yours, but you are going to find all of your assignments here, just like we were looking at My Test. So if you go into My Test, you're going to be able to find maybe your old test, but for some reason I can't do it here. But in the current work, you'll be able to find your work here on this side. I think I may have clicked on the wrong link, but you will find the work on this part where my little mouse is right here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on. Oops. No. That's just because I'm logged into the student section. So let me go ahead and log into the teacher section again. All right. So one thing I did want to take a look at, because you're also going to find another assignment when you log into your work, you're going to find author's point of view. So let me bring it up here on my screen so you can see it. Here we go. Here we go. In this assignment, I had provided you the text, and I also provided you a graphic organizer with author's point of view. And the beauty of having the text as a resource is you could go into the author's point of view graphic organizer, and you could fill it out by printing it out. If you want to copy it and write it on a piece of paper and fill it out there, that is up to you. So when we looked at author's point of view many months ago, we looked at what the author thinks about the topic. So remember, the point of view is what the author thinks. So when you do that, you're looking for details that show what the author thinks or feels about the text. You're going to decide if you agree with the author's point of view in this particular assignment. So what does the author think about Dolores Huerta? So in this particular evidence, you're going to think to yourself, I can reread and look for details that tell me what the author thinks. This will help me figure out the author's point of view. When we look at the details, they are already placed in there for you, but I really want you to use these as a jump start into finding the last detail of this particular text. When you find that last detail, you're going to come up with the author's point of view. When you answer the question, remember when you state the author's point of view, remember to start here. Remember, restate your evidence or restate your prompt. So what does the author think about Dolores Huerta? The author thinks that Dolores Huerta, and then fill in the rest. Once you're done, end your sentence and continue on with the details. So as we could see right here, detail 1 states that Dolores' mother taught her to be a good citizen and strong leader. And the way that we can figure out that evidence is if we go back into the story, I believe that was in the first page of text that tells you about Dolores' mother teaching her how to be a good citizen and strong leader. The next piece is telling you helping her students was a daring thing for Dolores to do. So if we went back into the text, we would be able to find the evidence to support this. So remember, go back into the text and find the last thing. So remember, Dolores Huerta, she learns how to be a good citizen by watching her mother. That was a part of the first paragraph. So if we continue on, we would notice that they do talk about her being a good citizen within her community. But it isn't until, I believe it is the, let's see, when does she start doing teaching? I'm trying to go back here and find it real quick. Here we go. So in this section here, so within these few paragraphs, you're going to notice that they talk about her being a teacher. And it kind of, it goes back and relates to this, this evidence right here. Helping her students was a daring thing for Dolores to do, and etc. So then you'll find the last detail, and then you will tell me what the author's point of view is in that question that is in your assignments. Okay, so if there are any questions about any of the assignments, I place the text as resources, so you can click on the story and reread it as many times as you would like. The graphic organizer is there, so if you want to print it out or if you want to create one by hand, that is up to you. I'm going to end this part of the session. I'm going to be adding lessons throughout the week, so we have, I'll probably try to get the next story out to you. I want to say by tomorrow, but tomorrow's kind of a little bit dense for me, so I will really do my best to get that assignment either by tomorrow or Wednesday. If you're hearing this today, this is Monday, what day are we on? April 13th. So if you're getting this today, then you'll see this by Wednesday, which is on April oh my goodness, 15th, the 15th of April. Oh my goodness. So just keep an eye out for those, and I will also try to get some math lessons. That one's going to be a little bit more challenging for me to do because I would really like to find a way to show you how to do the math under my cell phone or something. I'm trying to figure out ways to kind of get that going too. So bear with me as I'm still trying to figure out the technology, but I just want to let you guys know that I miss you and I'm really thinking about you, and I wish that we could be doing this in the classroom because I feel like we are so connected and as a community, but we're going to have to do this through the power of technology the best that we can. So bear with me. And if you need any questions, and parents, please, if you have any questions, please ask me. I am all ears. You can text me through Remind. You can email me. So please just give me that opportunity to do the best that I can with the limited resources that we have. So with that, I say farewell. I miss you, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.